Sidney Allen was, he's born from a Civil War veteran. He was a farmer and then became a storekeeper and built arguably one of the greatest houses in Carroll County.
Sidney Allen was a very wealthy man.
But he became a notorious outlaw when he and his family were involved in a shootout at the Carroll County, Virginia courthouse. High atop a ridge in Fancy Gap, Virginia, is a piece of local history.
I think it's a great architectural gem. It's a great architectural achievement. There's nothing like it in the world.
Built between 1910 and 1911 by local farmer and businessman Sidney Allen.
And to see how people could do the things they did with the materials they had and the time that it took, these were real craftsmen.
But the history of this stately old home is marred by tragedy. Floyd Allen, Sidney Allen's brother, was on trial for an altercation he had with local law enforcement. The jury found him guilty, and he was sentenced to a year in prison.
The clerk of court reached behind him and pulled out a pistol and was holding it behind him. And he winked at the sheriff, and Floyd saw it. And that's what made Floyd mad, and he said, "Gentlemen, I ain't going." In an instant, the courtroom erupted in gunfire between members of the Allen family and court officials. Several people claimed that Sidney Allen fired the first shot. 5 people were killed and many wounded, including Sidney Allen. Sidney was wounded once in the left arm. It went in the back of his arm and went into his, just below his left ribs, and the bullet was never removed. But amazingly, he and the rest of the Allens escaped with their lives. But within 2 weeks, they had caught most of them except for 2. Sidney Allen and his nephew Wesley Edwards, they wound up in Des Moines, Iowa, and they weren't captured until September that year, and they were brought back. By the time Sidney was brought to trial for his part in the shootout, things had calmed down a bit. Probably saved him from the death sentence, yes. Instead, he got 35 years, and by all accounts, was a model prisoner.
He found they had a woodworking shop, and he asked the warden if he could stay over and work in the woodworking shop, and so the warden let him do that.
He started making furniture with tiny pieces of scrap wood that he found around the shop.
The table in the corner, he said, was his masterpiece. It has 75,000 different pieces of wood in that particular one.
He stayed busy in prison, and a lot of the things he made are now on display at the Carroll County Historical Museum.
These were pieces that he made. These were smaller pieces.
After serving only 12 years, when he got out of prison, he took his furniture on the road and charged people to see what he called the 8th wonder of the world.
Instead of sitting around in the prison saying, "Woe is me, all these bad things have happened to me," he moved on and said, "What can I do to help my family? I'm going to make this furniture, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to travel around place to place, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get knocked down, but I'm going to get back up."
But he was never able to enjoy the grand house he built. The family lost it after his conviction and eventually fell into disrepair.
And you can see there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but you can see the potential of the house.
The Carroll County Historical Society is working diligently to save it from ruin.
The goal is to restore the house, to make it look like it did in 1912, to be a historic house, to have tours in the house. And you can see the woodworking, the craftsmanship that went into the making of this home. Despite the ugliness of Sidney Allen's story, the beauty of this old house is undeniable. He wanted it to be really special, and it was. That's why it's a one-of-a-kind house. A reminder of what could have been had it not been for that tragic day inside the Carroll County Courthouse in 1912. The wounds left behind from the shootout would fester for generations. But in recent years, they have finally started to heal.
I think there had to be some type of a release on this thing. There's all this pent-up emotion, both locally and within the different families.
We'll examine that in our next episode. In Hillsville, Virginia, Chad Tucker, Fox 8 News.